Before we start this video, thank you to the members of both of the channels.
Now it's time for the next lesson, huh? I call it How to Stop Being Stupid.
What's going on, guys? We just got the single diecast engines revealed. We got Mavis, Flynn Jr., Whiff, Charlie, Salty, and Scruffy, and yes, a Royal Thomas. We now have another Thomas variant revealed. It is confirmed to be a Royal Thomas based off of the detailing. We thought it would be a dirty, dusty, or muddy Thomas, but no, it's just a Royal Thomas. It's actually not even labeled on the packaging. But anyways, let's get into these other characters here. We saw Whiff there. We have Salty here. Salty, I think, looks incredible. This is the best. Some of these releases are the best releases these characters have ever gotten in the brand's history. Salty's cab is actually done correctly. It's supposed to be taller. That's something that Tomy failed to do. I think Wooden Railway failed to do as well. So Salty, this is possibly my favorite Salty release of all time. Mavis looks incredible. I've always been positive about Mavis. Scruffy has that lighter blue now and the dark blue labeling with his Scruffy & Co. Tidmouth Ballast or whatever it says, contractors, whatever. And here we have the transitioned, disgusting tranny Charlie here. Either that or Charlie's just an absolute child in this series. His face looks very, very young. There's our first look at the Royal Thomas. As you can see, the detailing. I can zoom in here. The detailing kind of is very minimal, but it just represents some sort of Thomas you would find from like King of the Railway or something. Here is Whiff. Whiff just looks like an absolute dork, but his diecast engine does look very nice. The glasses will be absolutely massive, I bet. Here's a better look at Salty. Salty's cab is fantastic. Proportionally, Salty is probably the best he's ever been. And Flynn Jr., I've also been very positive about. He actually looks like a proper fire truck now. Sodor actually has a decent-looking fire truck. The previous time we had that was, the Classic Series in Season 5 with those fire trucks. So glad to see Flynn Jr.'s looking really good. We got Mavis there, the Farquhar Quarry Company Limited. She did lose her nameplate, sadly. And we also see all these renders on the tops of the boxes here of the packaging. There's Scruffy and what he will look like within the show. He is keeping his rusty orange look. Again, here's Charlie. He looks like an absolute child. I actually don't think Charlie's a girl. I think they just made Charlie an absolute baby. It's also just as animation. One of these characters was going to get screwed over, so it just happened to be Charlie. But it's okay because nobody cares about Charlie. He has zero character. Thomas is just labeled Thomas, not even Royal Thomas. I'm actually really liking Whiff's diecast release. It's a very nice change. And what makes it interesting about Whiff is that, so Whiff has these smaller wheels in the back. And if you remember about diecast Oliver, they kept him with the big wheels in the back. So this basically proves that Mattel easily could have been able to give Oliver the smaller wheel set in the back because they did it for Whiff, but then they chose not to do it for Oliver. So I can already see people taking wheels off of Whiff and making customs with Oliver and Whiff in those two wheels. Or maybe just they're going to buy an extra tender engine and rip off the tender wheels. Who knows? But Mavis does not have her side plates. I know that might bother a lot of people, and it does bother me, but I think the rest of Mavis is a 10 out of 10. I kind of wish the nameplates all stuck around, however. Scruffy, I can't wait to collect Scruffy. We finally got some more merchandise. Charlie, as you can see, he lost his nameplate as well, NWR. He still is number 14. He's got the red wheels. Now, a thing about this Thomas is it is a shame. We also have no idea what this Thomas is from. It could be from the special. It could be from a random episode in Season 1. But it's a shame they never gave us a sad Thomas, a tired Thomas, an angry Thomas. They gave us a Royal Thomas, Royal Bunting Thomas, if you want to call it that. And Thomas's face remains unchanged. Salty in the render looks fantastic. I think Salty... He's also got so many more windows now. Am I crazy? They gave Salty like 5 cab windows, 3 on top, 2 below. Flynn Jr.'s looking fantastic. I'm also loving this packaging. The dark blue, the logo, the YouTube Kids in the top left. Mavis looks great. She does have her side plates in the series, of course. I love the face. The face really matches Mavis's debut from season 3. So I am perfectly happy with Mavis besides the side plates. Scruffy, I think the light blue color might bother some people, but if you remember at the Toy Fair images, Scruffy looked a lot darker than he does now in these images. And I think Charlie's face actually might look better in person. Again, he's just going to look like an absolute baby. But again, with this Thomas, it's very weird they didn't even label it. And I'm actually thinking it's not from the special because the packaging isn't any different compared to the other packaging. By the way, how do we feel about Whiff, guys, in his render? His render looks very basic. That render on the packaging looks like there's minimal detailing on Whiff. Maybe it's just that's how Whiff is. He's just a simple locomotive, but you can see the extra windows on Salty there. Am I crazy? Those were never there during the Classic Series. But look at Salty's cab height. It looks great. Flynn Jr., I know some people were upset because they wanted Flynn the fire truck if we're going to get a Flynn, but this one is way better. I'm sorry, Flynn the fire truck was so ugly. This is such an upgrade. Mattel is making so many upgrades from the previous garbage CGI series, that is for sure. Man, if Mavis had side plates, she would be absolute peak. And Scruffy, one thing about Scruffy that's kind of a bummer is that they didn't give any loads with the troublesome truck. So the rolling stock, all in all, in this range kind of sucks. Let's just be real. The rolling stock kind of sucks. There's no cargo, no loads, no coal, no ballast, no Brendan Bay Shipping Company, no nothing. Especially with Scruffy being a ballast truck, essentially, they could have given him a ballast load, at least make it removable, because we know Mattel loves their removable coal for the garbage motorized engines in the 80th anniversary. So you could have given us a removable piece of ballast cargo at the very least. So guys, let me know which one of these diecasts is your favorite down below. In terms of just the diecast releases themselves, I'd have to say I love Salty and Mavis and Whiff. Surprisingly, I'm coming around on Whiff. He's looking much better. I wouldn't say Flynn because he's just a fire truck, but Flynn is such an upgrade. I'm also excited to see what this Royal Thomas looks like in person. Now, as a reminder, these engines are not releasing until the summer. They are coming out in, I believe, August, because we're getting the first wave technically worldwide by June. And then in August, that's when all of these guys will be out. But I'm sure these guys will be out in July in like Malaysia and Taiwan and Turkey, like all the current engines are. So other countries are going to be getting these engines early, just like they are now. But let me know which one of these is your favorite down below. Which character do you think was done the best? Which character do you think was possibly ruined? Are you happy with this special edition Thomas? Are we happy with some of the changes they made to the engines and their colors? For example, Mavis and Charlie lost nameplates. Salty lost his nameplate. Salty also has this like red cap on him when it should be black, like it was in the classic and hit series. So some minor color changes, a lot of switch ups here with some of these characters. How do you think Flynn looks now that we've got this perfect look at Flynn Jr.? Basically, did Flynn die? Did Flynn die at the fire at Kirk Ronan Station? Who knows? Let me know your thoughts on Mavis. Are you upset with the no side plates? I can live with it, to be honest with you. Anyways, these are absolute bangers. Let me know your thoughts on these down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe to stay up to date with all the 2026 Thomas leaks.